How's it going, my fellow collectors? I am back again with another 1/6 scale figure review. Not Hot Toys this time. This time, we're taking a look at the Mars Toys Doc Time, aka Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future Part 2. So we're going to jump right into it, of course, with the first category being the source information. But I have already talked about it, the movie and everything, with the review that I did on the Hot Toys Back to the Future 2 Marty McFly. So I won't be covering it again because that'll kind of be like beating a dead horse, you know. Just know that I did give the score a 10 out of 10 because it's one of the all-time classics. And just to talk you guys through this pose, it's where Doc is showing Marty, and in which this is what happens to me. Okay. So yeah, that does it for the source information. Now we're going to move on to the next category. All right, we've made it to the category of packaging, and looks pretty standard to me. Not really much going on. There is artwork and such, but we'll go through it just as we do every box. You get the Mars Toys logo on the top left-hand corner. MAT021, that is the model number of this figure. And you get a drawing or painting of the DeLorean in the background there. And then on the bottom it says Doc Time, 1/6 scale collectible figure. Continuation of the artwork on the front. And same thing on the top. You get the gold wing door there on the top. And then on the side, you get the continuation again of the artwork in the front. And it says 1/6 scale collectible figure. Same thing on the other side. And on the back, you just get a couple of poses you can get this figure into. And on the bottom, it says Mars Toys Doc Time, 1/6 scale collectible figure, and you get the warnings and stuff that nobody really reads. And then once we open it up, it's a standard shoebox style design, and you get this slip cover that's on the inside with more artwork. You see the DeLorean flying into 2015's Hilldale, I believe, or Hill Valley. I'm not sure. It's basically where the courthouse is when they barely arrive to the future. And it's interesting because they do have the Back to the Future Part 2 logo right there. It's the only place where you're going to find that logo in this whole box. But yeah, once you remove that slip cover, if I could do this with one hand. Okay, you get the blister showing the figure and all of its accessories, but of course I've taken them out. Except for one, you see the Blast from the Past shopping bag there. I left that in because I'm not going to use it since the Hot Toys Marty McFly already comes with that. I think it's kind of pointless. So yeah, I'm going to leave that in the in the box. But just so you know, that bag does come with this figure. Once we cover the accessories, that has already been covered. But there you go, guys. That's pretty much it for the packaging. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty standard, not really anything special. So, I think I'm gonna give it. We'll give it a 7 out of 10. All right, so that's the packaging. Now we're gonna move on to the next category. All right, so now we've made it to the category of likeness. And this was one of the categories that drew me to buy this figure. Because the likeness is out of this world. It's like, it looks so much like Christopher Lloyd did during the making of this film. The expression on his face, the bug eyes, they nailed it. Mars Toys did an excellent job. The paint job as well. They got all the wrinkles. Someone said that they noticed the seam line in the hair, and it is a little bit noticeable, but you can barely see it. You have to actually be looking for it in order to see it. So yeah. And with this figure, they actually give you 3 head sculpts. So you got that one that we've been showing right now, and then you have this one, which is the exact same head sculpt. Only difference is that they put the hat on him. And it is a sculpted hat made of the same material as the face and head. So it's non-removable. But yeah, it's the exact same expression and everything. Not really any difference. Except for the hat, of course. But yeah, like I was saying, it's next level, you know? Like I said, it's one of the reasons why I bought it. It's 10 times better than what the Hot Toys head sculpt is. And then they give us this third head sculpt with a surprised expression on his face, similar to the Hot Toys expression of Dr. Emmett Brown. And again, he's wearing the hat. I believe people were saying that there was a pre-order exclusive accessory that you could only get by pre-ordering this figure. And I guess he comes with a 4th head sculpt that has this exact same expression. The only difference is that he's not wearing the hat. He's basically like this, but with the surprised expression on his face, like this. And I gotta tell you that this expression is probably the weakest out of all these head sculpts. It looks the least like Christopher Lloyd. It's not to say that it's bad, but yeah, it could have been better. And yeah, you could even see the inside of his mouth just a little bit. You see his teeth and his tongue there. So that's cool. Very nice. But yeah, So, not counting the surprised expression, I gotta say that the likeness to Christopher Lloyd is, I'd say 100%. I don't think there's any question. But yeah, because of that, it's going to get a 10 out of 10 for the likeness category. And just to talk you guys through this pose, this is basically when Doc and Marty are in the garage to Doc's house where he has the DeLorean, where they're in the alternate 1985. And he's saying like, "Oh, look where we are and look what has happened," you know. I don't remember the exact lines of what he said, but it's something along those lines. All right, so that does it for the likeness. Now we're going to move on to the next category. All right, so now we've made it to the category of outfit. And before we start talking about the outfit, let me just run you guys through this pose real quick. Obviously, it's the scene where he's about to give Marty some money so he can go and buy himself some 50s clothes. And he's taking out of his case here. And I have labeled everything exactly how it was in the movie. There's one particular thing with this case, guys, and I'll explain once we reach the category of accessories. All right, so about the outfit, I think Mars Toys did an excellent job. I think they nailed it, right on point with everything. Maybe the sleeves could have been a little bit shorter, but I don't think that's a big fail on them. I think you can still roll them up just a little bit more, just if you want to make it more screen accurate. But yeah, it's the inner shirt, the undershirt that he wears. People have been saying that it's a little too puffed out when it should have been thinner, but you can't really see it from in this pose. But yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think it's fine. I mean, maybe it's a little poofed out, but it doesn't bother me. It's not a deal breaker or anything like that. The outer shirt, this collared shirt here, I think they nailed that. You got all this like Hawaiian style, and it's like a design of a train, a locomotive, and some horses with people riding them, kind of like a precursor to part 3, which is pretty much what they were hinting at. It's a Easter egg. So, but yeah, he's got that, and then he's got his 2 watches, one on each wrist. So you have this silver one with a gold ring around the face, which is kind of funny because when I first opened it, it looked like the ring was silver, but now it looks gold. So I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the lighting, but yeah. And then the other watch has it's a black watch, and it has a little bit more detail than the silver one. So yeah. And it all depends on what point of the movie that you're displaying the figure on, but sometimes he wears it like sometimes he wears the watches like this, but other times he would have them facing inward. So yeah, like when he's driving the DeLorean. Uh, and then we move on down to the belt. It's a cloth belt, stretchy, real nice, real movie accurate, just like the one he had in the movie. And it's made of cloth, so you don't have to worry about flaking pleather or anything like that. And then once we get to the pants, very nice. They're also made of cloth, and they're very movie accurate. This is exactly what he was wearing in the movie. You see the cargo pockets, and they're actual functioning pockets as well. So, and then this one has plastic. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's just how it was in the movie. So they nailed that. And one thing though, you guys, you have to be mindful of the buttons on this because they're just as flimsy as the Hot Toys buttons. You can easily they can easily fall off, is what I'm saying. And I don't think that they come with spares, so be extra careful when handling the figure and the pants. So he's got those two, or actually four on the top and four on the bottom, right below the knee. So yeah. And then when we move on to the shoes, they are made of plastic. So yeah. But they got the design of how they looked in the movie very like spot on. He also comes with a pair of socks, and they are cloth. So that's that. Yeah, I'm really happy. And then obviously, of course, as you've seen in the other categories, he does come with his black trench coat. And I think they nailed that look too. It looks when you put it on the figure, he looks exactly like he did in the movie. I think they nailed that. It is made of like a felt material, and there is a wire running along all the bottom of the trench coat, but that's the only wire it has. So if you want to make it look like it's blowing in the wind, like when he first met up with Marty again in the cemetery in front of his father's grave, you know, you can repose him to look like the wind is blowing the trench coat. So that's cool. And then obviously the other head sculpts have the hat, but like I said before, it's not a removable piece. It's pretty much part of the head sculpt. But I think they nailed that too. The way the hat looks on the head, it's just like it looked in the movie. So yeah. So because of all that, um, probably because of the buttons on the pants, I'll probably give it a 9. So yeah, that's what it's gonna get, a 9 out of 10. All right, so that does it for the outfit. Now we're gonna move on to the next category. All right, so now we've made it to the category of articulation. And yeah, it's nothing special. He has the Hot Toys muscular body, I believe. underneath his clothes. Pretty much like the same body that the old school Wolverine, like the old school Hot Toys Wolverine figures had. So I'll run you through it. Starting at the top, it's all one piece, as you've seen with the other head sculpts. From the base of the neck all the way to the top of the head, it's one solid piece. It attaches to the torso with a ball and socket joint. He can rotate all the way around 360 degrees, no problem. You do have to be careful with his hair to make sure that it doesn't like rub too harshly on the clothes. He can lean from side to side real good. Looks up a decent amount. And looks down pretty good too. Limited shoulder shrug. And not much in terms of butterfly joints. And he can rotate his arms 360 degrees all the way around, though you have to be careful with the clothes again. No bicep swivel, but there is elbow swivel. And he only has a single joint at the elbow, unfortunately. So yeah. Standard Hot Toys wrist pegs. The hands do fit a little loose on those pegs, so be mindful of that. And moving on to the torso, he has decent ab crunch, decent waist swivel. He can rotate from side to side real good and lean from side to side real good too. He do take note that he does have a fat suit underneath his clothes. You can feel it when you pose the figure or articulate it. I believe it stretches from his stomach all the way down to his thighs, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. As for the legs, I haven't moved those around much. So I can't really tell you, but I'm assuming it's the same as the Hot Toys Wolverine old school body. So you can kick approximately 90 degrees forward, and he can't kick too far backwards. He can spread his legs pretty good, far amount, although you do have to be mindful of the pants and not to damage those. I'm assuming he has double bend knees. And he does have thigh swivel, which is good. And also the ankles, very good articulation on those. Real good rocking motion from side to side and pivot from up and down. So yeah, you can stand up real good, and you can rotate them 360 degrees all the way around. So you don't have to worry about the ankles. They do the job really good. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of articulation. So I do wish he would have come with double bend elbows. That would have been awesome. Uh, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10 too. So you can't get him in all the poses that you would have wanted, but it's not too bad. All right, so that does it for articulation. Let me just talk you guys through this pose. Obviously, he's talking to Marty on the walkie-talkie. And let me just give you guys a full 360-degree view. Because we haven't seen that yet, at least with the coat on. Yeah, real nice. Okay, so that does it for articulation. Now we're going to move on to the next category. All right, so we've made it to the category of accessories. And I'd say that he comes with a decent amount of accessories. We'll start off with the hands. He comes with 6 hands in total, including the relaxed ones that he has on him on the figure right now. Apparently, from what I've heard, these are exact copies of the Hot Toys hands. I don't know if I'm assuming they were referring to the Hot Toys Doc Brown from Part 1. So yeah, they're all right for being you know, what is it like? When did the Hot Toys Doc Brown from Part 1 come out? Not too long ago, right? Like maybe 3 years. So you know they do the job. They're pretty good, paint job and everything. Not up to standards as what the current Hot Toys hands look like now. They're a lot more detailed, but they do the job. People have also said that they don't really match the body. Maybe they're one tone off when you compare the hand to the arms, but it's not that noticeable, you know? It's not like you could tell right off the bat. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. We get the 2 newspapers from the movie. So one where it says in the Hill Valley Telegraph that Emmett Brown has been committed when they go to the alternate future of 1985. And then once they burn the almanac and everything goes back to normal, the newspaper changes to this saying Emmett Brown is commended. So yeah. There's that. And then he also comes with his 2015 binoculars, which I don't know why, because this version of Emmett Brown never used this. So it doesn't really make much sense that he would have it. Unless this was the Emmett Brown with the yellow jacket and the red shirt. But whatever. And then he comes with the 3/4 wrench that he uses to give to his past self when they're talking on the streets of where the courthouse is. So that's cool. A little reference to that scene that they give us that accessory. And then he also comes with the walkie-talkie. Really nice. It's got cool detail. It says Space Patrol, as you can see on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if the actual walkie-talkie said that too. And then it has this label in the back. It's nice and all, but I'm afraid over time that it'll start to peel off, since it is just a sticker. But the antenna is made of actual metal, which is cool. So you don't have to worry about it bending. Well, you don't have to worry about it bending easily as a plastic antenna would. So yeah, that's cool. And then it comes with the 2 head sculpts, which we already talked about in the likeness category. And it also comes with his black trench coat, which we have also covered in the outfit category. And it comes with this base. It does say Back to the Future on it, Part 2. Which I'm kind of surprised that they put that on there, since this is a third-party figure and, you know, licensing and all. So yeah. So it doesn't really make much sense that they put that logo there and they don't put Emmett Brown instead of just Dr. Brown. But whatever. Anyway, moving on, we have the briefcase with the emergency money on it. You will get it. It's looking like this. And you have to put all these stickers on, the labels for the years which all the money was taken from. You also have to take the labels or the stickers and put them on the outside as well, like these. But it is fully functional. As you can see, you can close it or open it. And one thing, guys, when the briefcase did come, all of this money that you see inside, they are actual bills, like they're paper. So that's cool. But they were all facing the wrong way. So I flipped them all around. And also another thing, all of the stickers, it was missing one. The one that you see here, I'll point it out with with my screwdriver. So this one that you see, I made that. So there was a little bit of sticker left over that had no writing on it. And I used it, I cut it up to this shape, and I put that year on it with a Sharpie pen. Which is because, yeah, like I said before, it didn't have a label, this one. And I was looking all over for it. I was like, well, wait, I'm missing a label here. So that's what I had to do. And now it's completely movie accurate, because it was missing that earlier. And yeah, so all of these are labeled exactly how they look in the movie. One difference being is that all of the bills have Emmett Brown's face on them. So maybe it has to do with government laws where you can't actually print fake money because that would be illegal. So I guess they had to do it this way, which is kind of a shame, but you know, you take what you can get. But yeah, that does it for the accessories. I can't think of anything else it could have come with. Yes, it definitely could have come with a second walkie-talkie. that we could have given to Marty. That would have been nice. Or maybe Mars Toys is just planning on making the leather outfit of Marty. So they're going to give him his own walkie-talkie. But yeah. What else? I think he could have come with like an attachable price tag. Maybe two of them. That one you could attach to the hat, and the other one you could attach to the trench coat. Because he did have those in the movie. He ripped them off, but he did have them at one point. But yeah, that's all I can really think of. I think, yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 for accessories. Why not? Because it comes with the essentials, with what you need. So, yeah. All right. So that does it for the accessories. Now we're going to round up the scores and wrap up this review. All right, so there's a few things I forgot to mention in the accessories, guys. He does come with a Blast from the Past store shopping bag. This isn't it. This is Marty's, but you guys saw it when I was doing the packaging. It's reflective color, like a chrome, whereas this is like more metallic silver. But yeah, I'm going to leave it in the bag because I don't really... One's good enough, you know? And then he also comes with receipt. So as you can see, it does say Sports Almanac, Blast from the Past, and then it's got a barcode. And... can't really tell what the rest of it says. But yeah, you know, it's a cool accessory to have that they added. But anyway, getting back to the thoughts and overall score of this figure. This is the final pose that I'm going to have him in. So let me give you guys a good view. There he is. Yeah. So basically, I was just trying to replicate the ending where they just burned the almanac and newspaper turned back into the real 1985. And he's reading the newspaper as it changes. And he says, "Mission accomplished." So, yeah. The only downside is that he does not fit entirely in the DeLorean. As you can tell, he's a little bit too tall. His head sticks out. I can't close the door. So, yeah. It's a little unfortunate, but oh well. At least I could do this. But yeah, for the overall score, he's going to get a 53 out of 60. So not bad. All right, so that does it for this review, guys. Hope you all liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to the channel. But until next time, guys, I shall catch you all later on the tube. All right, bye, guys.